Evening. Welcome to a meeting of the Council of the City of Long Beach held Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025 at 7 p.m. We'll have a roll call. Councilmember Bendo.
Present.
Councilmember Lester.
Here.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Here.
Vice President Fiamora.
Here.
President Finn.
Present.
Let the record indicate the presence of Deputy City Manager Phil Regona and Corporation Counsel Frank DeCranis. We'll now have a salute to the flag.
We'd like City Clerk Dave Fraser to lead us in the pledge, please.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are you getting teary-eyed, Dave? I am too. I'm getting verklempt. Welcome to our first meeting of September. It doesn't mean summer is over. It just means that the kids have to go back to school. We have just a little bit of good news from our Deputy City Manager, Phil Regona, as he gives a report.
Right. So I'll start this off with, I don't know if anyone here has heard, but we had a water rescue on Lincoln Boulevard. I'm sure you've heard the emergency vehicles. Our first responders got there, took some out of the water. CPR wasn't, in fact, in progress. He wasn't breathing, but we now have a pulse, and he's being treated at the Oceanside campus of Mount Sinai. I don't know where it's going from there, but there is a pulse, and it was really good news.
Stabilized?
Yeah, he is stable at this point. It's just a reminder, lifeguards are not on duty, and we really shouldn't be swimming when lifeguards aren't on duty.
Thank you. You're welcome. And now for the report, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you all for being here tonight. I hope everyone had a great Labor Day. I know I did. As we close out the beach season, I'll give you a brief report on how the season went. But I want to give you a few updates before I get to our beach season and what occurred on the beach this year. We have a very busy start to local summer, which we all enjoy this week. On Friday night, we'll be wrapping up our Movies on the Beach series with Jaws on Edwards Boulevard Beach. Saturday is the return of one of the, I think we all can agree, one of the best days in Long Beach, the Michelle O'Neill Volleyball Tournament. And on Sunday, we have the 3-4-3 Foundation Run. And additionally, we have the King and Queen of the Beach Kids Serve Contest that'll take place this Sunday also. Next Thursday, the city will come together with the fire department to remember 9/11. We should never forget. All are encouraged to join the ceremony at 7 p.m. on Park Avenue and Lafayette Boulevard. So, getting back to the beach season, and Beach Park. As most of you are aware, we implemented some new measures this year focused on modernizing our beach operations. It really was time for a change. We did our best to reduce the number of people getting on the beach improperly, illegally, and without paying to get on the beach. The steps that we took included barcodes for the beach passes for accountability and increasing the data that we can get on who was on the beach. We relocated the ticket booths, as many of you have seen, to the switchbacks, and this made a single point of entry onto the beach. Instead of people walking or the beachgoers walking past the ticket booths on the boardwalk saying to the kids, I want to look at the water, or I just want to see if my friends are there, and then just entering. They all had to be funneled into one spot, and it proved very successful. And finally, we hired additional supervisors, many mature, some from the VFW, those who wanted to get retirees, wanted to get back to work, and really were interested in overseeing and supervising our ticket takers and our cashiers. And it really proved to be a success this year. It stopped many of the beachgoers who were less than polite to the young kids who were working on the beach, and the more seasoned or mature supervisors were able to stop them and say, You have to get scanned in, you have to buy a pass. And it really changed the whole complexion of our season. The results, truly, in a word, were outstanding, really outstanding. So with the beach closing just being yesterday, our numbers are obviously not audited yet, but nonetheless, despite losing the first 6 weeks of the season, as most of you know, we preseason from Memorial Day on, every weekend we had rain. It was just poor weather for the beach. But even with that, we finished the season up more than $640,000 in ticket sales or beach pass sales compared to last year. And for the first time, and I'm very proud to say this, the first time in the city's history, the beach took in approximately $5 million in revenue, something we've never done before. Yeah. I have to say we owe that to our city manager and certainly our city council, who over the entire preseason spitballed, brainstormed, and came together to create the changes that we're here. I really mean that. It was really teamwork, and it was great. With the bad weather, we were down in May, just to finish this up, tremendously. And we rebounded very nicely in June, July, August, and September. And you'll see the measures were really kicking in at that point, when the beach was open 7 days a week, and a vast majority of our sales, our daily beach passes, were done. During this period, we were up more than $810,000 compared to 2024. Really is strong evidence that the measures implemented worked as we thought they would. We're very obviously pleased with the outcome, which is the result of this team effort. And we'd like to thank our special police officers. You know, many times in my office I receive calls or complaints that the summer special officers, are they doing their job? Well, I'm here to tell you, between our police officers on the beach and our special officers, we issued over 1,200 VCO, municipal code summonses, 1,200, another record number, and that's for violations that affect everybody's quality of life. Alcohol on the beach, urinating, no beach passes, smoking on the beach, being on the jetties, etc. So all these quality of life safety issues really were addressed. I have to tell you, in my 40 years, it was truly one of the greatest group of young men and women who worked out there as special officers. And for those of us on the beach, you see it day in and day out, some of the verbal abuse they could take from some not nice people. And they do their job very well, and I'm really proud of them, and hopefully they'll follow their careers into law enforcement. So finally, on behalf of myself, our great city manager, Dan Creighton, our city council, I'll end with a deep, heartfelt thank you to all the city employees for making it happen. And it does take a village, and in our case, a city, and teamwork with a capital T is key. The weather we had this year eventually cooperated, and the systems that we've all implemented will ultimately save our residents money. It was a great operation and a great summer. I want to thank everyone for all their hard work. And with that, I'll end the city manager's report.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. I think probably everybody in the room knows it, or if they don't, they should. Phil spends the entire summer working with the beach park, working with Joe Brandt, and I think you took 2 days off this whole summer, really. So I think Phil really deserves a round of applause for working very hard this summer. Thank you, Phil. Appreciate it. And Dan Creighton, Dan and Phil back in January, February, when the planning had to be done, they had these ideas, and I said, when you move those booths down to the bottom of the ramp, we're going to get some pushback. But think about this: we had this great revenue, and we didn't raise the price, and we certainly hope not to raise the price again. So I think it was great, and I appreciate the work. So enough about that. Let's get on with the fun.
Okay, on to the agenda. As a reminder, items 3 and 4 have been taken off the calendar. Our first item this evening is a resolution authorizing the city manager to accept a grant for critical infrastructure from the Department of Homeland Security.
Thanks, Dave. So this item would allow the city manager to accept a $50,000 grant from the Department of Homeland Security to help cover the costs of installing approximately 18 different cameras on the boardwalk. Money for this project is already in our capital budget, and this grant would cover approximately 30% of the overall cost. When the plan is finalized, this project will come back to the council for approval of the purchase. Right now, we're just seeking approval to accept the grant. We have our police commissioner, Rich DePalma, here to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, question from the council?
Just making sure it's on. Rich, this will give us 18 more cameras?
Yeah, approximately 18. We're hoping to stretch it to 22, but looks like we can fit 18 in our budget.
And this only covers a third of the cost?
Correct. We have a capital line to cover this project. This is a project we've been looking to do for years. In fact, we applied for this grant 3 years ago. We didn't get it. We were lucky enough to get it this year to expand our footprint on the boardwalk with cameras.
And what would that give us as a total number, do you know?
Right now, we just have cameras on the lifeguard stations.
On the what?
On the lifeguard stations on the boardwalk. So we have Neptune, we have Riverside, and we have New York right now. So this would give us almost a much larger portion of the boardwalk to be on camera.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Not really a question, but a comment. Personally, I don't really like the idea of cameras because of George Orwell, but, reading that as a young guy. But that's the world we live in, and I think this is a step in the right direction to keep the boardwalk even safer, right? So, thank you. Questions or comments from the public? Yes? Yeah, yes. We're very strict about that.
Yes.
You're on camera.
And you'll be on camera, too, now.
All right, can you just have your name for the record, please? Wait, can I have your name for the record, please?
Yeah, my name's Joe Sauer.
Thank you.
Long Beach, New York, yeah. So I'm just curious, I'm all for safety. However, are there any statistics to show that crime has gone up, that things have gotten that dangerous here in Long Beach? I've been here for over 13 years. I've worked in all 5 boroughs of New York. I don't experience anything in this area that I've witnessed and experienced in those other geographies that have lots and lots of cameras. That
Thank
are
God.
Relatively
Thank God.
reactive in stopping crime. They don't really stop crime. They just take a great photo of it after it's happened. So I'm just wondering, are there anything that we can put into effect if it is an issue to do something that's a little more proactive instead of reactive?
Sure.
For example, like a street camera, right? You take a picture of someone driving who's driving dangerously, right? And they run someone over. They're still moving. The body's over here, right? We didn't prevent that harm from happening. So it'll work as a great deterrent moving forward.
Sure.
But in the meantime, it's more of an afterthought, and it's something that happens later.
We do, just so you know, we do use the cameras now for proactive work, especially on a boardwalk.
Yeah.
And they are a great crime-solving tool for us. You're right. So when something does happen, it does help us find the perpetrator. But for instance, the cameras we have on the boardwalk right now can move. So we actively use them to monitor crowds. In fact, we used it today at today's water rescue. We were able to get we were able to see the person in the water on the camera and get the rescuers to the scene exactly where that person was.
Right, so that makes sense. But are there any statistics to show that crime has actually gone significantly up? Because it's going to be a capital expenditure on the city.
Statistically, crime has gone down in Long Beach 18%
So,
this year.
something to consider. Like I said, if we're going to spend on it and do something, like when it comes to being proactive and helping people in emergency situations, fantastic. If we're seeing crime rates going up, then we should definitely do something about that and be proactive. But, cameras for the sake of cameras, to your point.
Right.
Yeah.
a grant, but it's a grant.
Only if
Glad it's a grant, but.
Well, I agree with what you're saying, but also the boardwalk is its own, to me, and I'm not an expert the way the commissioner is, but a lot of things happen on the boardwalk that we don't really know about because we're not up there doing that. I'm not, maybe you are, but I'm not,
Right, no.
and I think that people knowing that there are cameras there, I think kind of gets there in the mind, well, maybe I'm not going to do what I'm going to do, because of that, and it may be a deterrent.
No, yeah, and if there's a response time that gets someone there, before they can get away, then absolutely, but.
Finn, can I?
If I could just add to that another thing, because I understand your point. I don't know if you can hear this, but we get sued a lot, if you haven't noticed, in Long Beach.
really?
Yeah, and a lot of things, people, there was a nail sticking up, they broke their toenail, whatever they can think of, but
They hit their toe on a
the
rock.
the cameras are really good for that, too, to go back to, because cameras don't lie, right?
Right,
So
right.
it ends two sides of a story and gives one side in court, which is the truth, so.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing, right?
Yeah.
That I agree. Yeah.
And
They are great
I'm
tools.
sorry, I have to disagree with you, and what I'm looking at is the red light cameras. The red light cameras were taken down because they were too effective. They weren't generating the income because people got used to them. They said, whoa, there's a camera here, I'm going to stop. I know, I stop at a yellow lights like I've never stopped before. They do work. They are a deterrent,
Professions.
and it just, it doesn't, you don't have to have crime to have a deterrent. Every store has something that says watch over shoplifters, something like that, and it's actually worked. Statistically, it's worked. I think it's kind of a great idea, and believe me, I am far left of Finn, and I read George Orwell, and I was never a camera person, but in this day and age, it just does seem to work.
Okay. Any other comments from the public? Okay, let's close that one.
Item number 2 is a resolution authorizing the city controller to amend the 25-26 general fund budget to include remaining grant funds from the 24-25 general fund budget to be used in the current fiscal year.
Item 5?
Two.
Get ahead of yourself.
Excuse me.
Wishful thinking.
You're right. So the city received grant funding in the amount of $91,000 last fiscal year to convert lighting at certain facilities to LED lights. Half the work was done in the last fiscal year. We're looking to complete the work in this fiscal year, but need to transfer the remaining funds from last fiscal year to do so. We have Ken Arnold here to answer any questions, and Ina Resnick in regards.
Question from the council?
Just one question. Ken, I don't know if it's kind of you might not have an answer to that, but we switched over to the LEDs a few years ago. And my understanding is LEDs are much cheaper to operate. Do you have any idea how much we saved since switching?
I do not. I know they are cheaper both on their usage of electricity and maintenance, but I don't know.
I'm just curious. Thanks.
Questions from the public? Okay, I'll close it.
Okay. Item 3 has been taken off the calendar. Item 4 has been taken off the calendar. And finally, item 5 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter the city as a member of the buying cooperative with Equalis Group and to enter into a cooperative agreement with Land Tech Group to rehabilitate, replace the turf field. Now it's 5, yes.
So the turf field at the city's recreation complex has long outlived its useful life and needs to be replaced. This item would authorize the city to enter into a buying cooperative that our Department of Public Works feels has the best agreement in place for replacing turf fields. The cooperative's winning bidder is Land Tech Group. It's a Long Island-based group and a company that has performed similar projects across Long Island. The total cost for Land Tech to remove the existing turf, install new turf, and infill, and to apply field markings is $1 million. Funds for this projected were budgeted for and will be available later this month when our capital budget bond goes out to market. Once again, Ken Arnold is here to answer any questions you have in regards to this.
Questions from the council? Roy? Do you have a question?
Ken, I remember we went through this with the school board, and we were shocked when we found out how much it costs to actually keep grass fields. Do we have any numbers on that? I mean, there's the maintenance on the turf field. They last about 10 years, you figure? Or?
On average, yes, our field was installed in 2008, so it's exceeded that, like I said.
It what?
Our field was installed in 2008, so it's over 10 years.
Yeah, almost 17. And the maintenance on the turf field is almost nothing, correct?
Correct.
And are there any numbers on what the maintenance on a grass field are?
I can take them up, I mean, you have guys between cutting grass, if you get a rainstorm on a...
No, I understand. I just, sometimes people say you're spending $1 million and they don't realize over 18 years we could be spending a lot more on grass fields, but I don't know that. That's why I asked that. All right, thanks, Joe. Thank you, Ken.
Ken, the project is, the bid was for like $958,000, but the resolution's for $1 million. Is the difference contingency?
Correct.
Okay. Also, this calls for replacing the carpet and the infill. Do we know the condition of the base layer?
Base layer, I looked at the last couple of rainstorms, it's performing fine. I don't anticipate any issues with that.
Okay, so, I mean, is there a chance when they pull up the carpet, they're going to look at the base layer and go, oh, that's got to go too?
I would not think so, no.
Okay.
Yeah, the contingency would not be big enough that was big enough.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we would end up terminating the bid.
Okay. The infill, I guess there was, what do they use for infill? I guess, let me start with that. Is it sand?
The rubber pellets.
Okay, so these are the shredded tire pellets?
I don't know that if it's still tired, but it's rubber pellets.
Because weren't they running into health concerns with the shredded tire pellets?
Those are the earlier generation of those.
Okay, they've moved on from those? Okay. What kind of warranty will the field come with?
Give me 1 second.
Because as we found out with our pool liner, warranties are important.
Shall I start the Jeopardy music? Here's the horn. Joe, you were here for the last turf. Do you remember what the warranty was on the last one? Right.
I don't see it in this, I know we have a bond for the project. I don't see a warranty listed here. I have to go back and find out.
Yeah, if you could try, find, just, it would be good to know we got some recourse if,
Yeah, I
you know, okay. And I guess this might be more of a, and then one, how long is this going to take to do?
I'm working with Joe to figure out what, so we don't turn the season down.
Right.
We're looking to get it done this winter between the timeframe that doesn't impact the season.
Okay, and I guess this might be more of a Joe question. Do we generate revenue off of the field through like league fees or rental fees or things like that?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
All the kids' programs, all the adult programs, everything that we run out there.
so people using it are paying fees
Oh,
for the
yeah.
programs that are using the
Yeah, and
field?
we have both, in-house programs and field space that we lease out to other businesses.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's it.
Mike?
I was very happy to see that Land Tech was awarded this because they are the industry standard for turf fields for sure. One comment I had, for turf fields, there are ways you can maintain by brushing and scattering pellets more on I want to say weekly basis. And then it does help. And I know that there's options, and I think Land Tech does this, where quarterly or every half year they can come in and, I don't know the right term, fluff up. Because what happens is if it gets too flat, that's when it rips. So I just want to make sure we utilize all those.
Yeah, with the last company we had that. What you do is you identify your heaviest usage period, and they come in once a year right after that.
Right.
They bring more rubber, like the condition of our turf now. If we were to bring the rubber rake out there,
Oh, it wouldn't do anything.
we would
Right.
destroy it.
Right,
more
and
than
they
do
concentrate
anything.
on like the batter's box
Yep.
or like
Yeah.
where the
You'll
goalie
see
stands.
exactly the pitcher's mound, around the bases. That's where it gets
Perfect.
the heaviest use.
And I'm sure it has nothing to do with me getting older, but my knees were cranky.
Much better.
So it's going to be much
on the
better.
turf, Yeah. Much truer ground
yeah.
ball too.
And the last thing I would like to say too is, when we rehabbed the rink, we concentrated on really maximizing the ice time, and we're seeing the benefits of that, getting the city more revenue. I would just focus on and would like to meet about how we can maximize field time to get more permitting fees and more usage.
So look, one of the big advantages we have is the lights, obviously.
Right.
A lot of places don't have that. What's critical with that is the field design. When we put, Land Tech will come down with a footprint, it'll be a regulation size football field, lacrosse field, girls lacrosse field, soccer field. We don't play regulation games down at the rec. Most of the stuff we do is for younger kids. It's more like cross field stuff. And obviously the 2 baseball diamonds. So that's going to be where we can probably figure out our best way to draw revenue, making the field, applicable to anybody that's looking to use it.
Great. Thanks, Joe.
Before you go, just briefly explain this cooperative process.
So Equius is a company that works with municipalities to find cooperative bids that are useful for other organizations. So in this case, this bid was done, I think, out in California, where they did a standard bid for turf fields, and Land Tech was the selected vendor. Equius puts together a package that allows other municipalities to utilize that bid.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions from the public? Yes, Eileen.
Good evening, Eileen Hessian, Long Beach. This is really just for my own information. When I saw the $1 million, I gasped because I was thinking that this was, basically putting down sod, but it sounds like the rubber pellets and carpets and base layers and so forth. It sounds much more complicated than that. Is this the land around the rec? Is that what we're talking about?
It's the field.
The field around the rec?
Where they play softball and baseball,
yeah.
football.
So, how many acres is that? Anyone?
Joe, do you know the acreage? Is Joe still here?
It's 133,000 square feet.
How much does it come out per foot? No, that's right. I'll figure out the math later. It just seemed like a lot of money.
It does.
The removal and replacement per square foot is about $7.
Well, there you go. Thank you very much. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the public? All right, we'll close that one.
On to the voting.
It's only 3 things. And he's oh, you're fine?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I will move that we block vote and approve items 1, 2, and 5.
Do I have a second? Voting, Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamora. President Finn.
Yes?
Mr. President, if I may have a few minutes before we close the meeting?
Yes, I'm just going to say that Dave wants to speak to the public, and I just want to say thank you for everything you do for the city, and your knowledge has been really impressive. Please speak.
Thank you. As many of you may not know, this is going to be my last meeting as the city clerk here. It's been a long. Sorry, I didn't think I was going to get emotional at this.
I knew you would. Ovation, that's right.
Thanks. When I started here over 30 years ago, I never thought I'd be here for this long. I've been through 38 different council members, 16 city managers, countless, co-workers, and thousands of people I've dealt with the public from my time when I started on the beach to working in IT to working here in the clerk's office. There's so many people that I should thank, but I'd like to thank my entire staff, everybody who I've worked with, all the CSEA workers that I've been, family. Wow, I really didn't think this was going to happen. All my other fellow exempts, all the people who I've worked with and dealt with. I'd be in a lot of trouble if I didn't thank my wife, who I met here. If it wasn't for this place, I would never have met, got married. At this place, I got to tell you, I've had the best and the worst times of my life in this building. I've been through a lot of ups and downs. Again, I never expected this to be a lifelong journey, but it has been, and I'm going to miss you all.
I would just say that Dave has provided so much advice, knowledge, experience. Really, he's been an indispensable for my short time here, and I'm very grateful. And I know I'm not going to speak for the council because you guys probably want to say something yourselves, but thank you very much for everything you've done for the city of Long Beach, because you really have you provided so much for all the people in this city, and many of them don't know your name, but they should. Anybody else want to speak?
I do. Can I just say one quick word? I've worked with Dave every bit of his 30 years, and I swear, in our office on the 5th floor, whenever there's a question in any department, every department, not the clerks, every department, we say, call Dave, we'll get the answer. I don't care if it's zoning, building, Dave has the answer. There's institutional knowledge there that will be so missed. Not only will I miss you as my friend, and you are my friend forever, Dave, but I will miss you, your knowledge, your expertise, your professionalism. You're a good man. You've been so good to the city, and we're very lucky to have you. I wish you the best in your retirement. Healthy, long, and happy retirement, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. You know, the one thing, Dave, I loved about you is you always had the answers, but you never let people know that you knew everything. And that's such a rare trait in people, especially people who do know everything. And you taught me a lot, and I'm going to miss the only person who enjoys Jerry Garcia ties more than me. And it always is great to come and see what you have. And there's ones that I've seen you wear that I can't find for the life of me. So if you ever want to get rid of some of them, because you don't have to dress up anymore, you know where you can go. Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll leave any extras in your mailbox.
So I've been fortunate to be able to work with Dave for my nearly 8 years on the council, plus the, I don't know how many years I came to council meetings before that. Dave has always been the consummate gentleman. He is an encyclopedia when it comes to this city about things. There's very little he does not know. And one thing I think that's worth noting is, you know, he was talking about all the different administrations he's been through, and anybody that follows this town knows as administrations change, they bring their people in, people come and go. You know who's been a constant through all those administrative changes? This man right here. Because this man is all about doing his job and serving the people. And the various administrations recognize that about him. That for him, it's about serving the residents of this city. And that's why he's been around through administration after administration. You don't see that a lot in this town.
Yeah, like I said, 16 city managers.
There you go. You don't see that a lot in this town. And that speaks to the type of person Dave is. It has been, for me, an honor to work with him. Like I said, he is an encyclopedia. Whenever I needed to know something, he is the person with the answer. He's like a whole filing cabinet full of stuff in that brain of his, and he's going to be missed. And I think just as a personal comment, the one thing I'm going to remember the most about Dave is he and I drove up together to Lake Placid a couple of years ago, and I got to listen to 8 hours of Jimmy Buffett music on the whole ride.
There's only 6.5.
Because that's all Dave would listen to, was Jimmy Buffett music. So, like others have said, I wish you nothing but happiness in your retirement. You deserve it. You have worked hard. You're a good person, and honestly, that's sometimes getting hard to say in the way the world is going right now. So I wish you nothing but happiness and fun in your retirement.
Yeah, Dave, just to echo what everybody has said, I call you the walking Long Beach Charter because as everybody has mentioned, whenever there's a question, oh yeah, that was Ordinance 725 passed in 1983. You're like, what? But this is the kind of knowledge this guy has. He's a great guy. He's fun to have a beer with, too. He has all that knowledge, and he's fun to have a beer with. That's rare. Dave, we wish you the best. You and your wife have a wonderful retirement. I know you're going to enjoy it. So all the best.
Thank you.
I got to say, when I came here, again, like Brendan said, we're here for a short period of time. But I learned right away that Dave was the guy. I mean, always put together, always has an answer. More importantly, most important thing to me, guy always answers his phone. It's very hard. Very, very hard with a lot of the people.
And we're still going to have your number.
But I was just going to say, don't think you're off the hook, because I'm going to still call you when I have an answer. I'm going to start off casual, check in, how you doing, how's Florida, all that good stuff. Ask you a Jimmy Buffett song you're listening to, but Really sincerely want to thank you for all the time, and I know what you've given to the city. Selfishly, I hope you get bored in a month and call us back up for a job, because I think you're always welcome here, and I think everybody in this room feels that way. So may you and your wife have a great retirement. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Dave, everything that was said here, I agree 100% with. I just hope that everybody remembers that you have the knowledge where all the bodies are buried, and you know where things are. And there's such a thing called a consultant, and I hope that the city takes advantage of that and puts you on the payroll. Yeah. Good luck, best to you, buddy.
Then he was soliciting himself for a lawyer.
Dave, I was trying to play that song by Railroad Earth, where the couple retires and buys an RV and sails off into the sunset. But we'll see you at a Jimmy Buffett festival sometime down in Florida, right?
Yes.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah. And now on to the...
So,
But we got to close
hold
the
on,
meeting.
let me... So, for one last time, city manager's monthly personnel report has been filed by the city clerk. We'll make a motion to close.
I will.
Councilmember Bendo.
Yes.
Councilmember Lester.
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Yes.
Vice President Fiamura.
Yes, sir.
And President Finn.
Yes.
Okay. You can handle this part.
There was a handing over of the timer. That's like a... Thank you. Ron Paganini.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Ron.
Ron Paganini, Long Beach, and I remember all those 16 city managers, too. Probably on a different status, but anyway, good luck to Dave. So I have a lot of questions here that need answers. And it's about the wind turbines and the high voltage cables, of course. It's not over yet. So, you know, I can't make this council do anything. It's up to you. And basically, here's the questions, really. You know, does the council truly believe the North American Supergrid study done by the Climate Institute in Washington, D.C., that our underground water pipes can be destroyed by the high voltage cables? That's one question. Has Empire 2 been permanently canceled? If not, this council must be proactive to make sure the cables never come through Long Beach. Was the letter that you sent, Mr. Finn, you know, to Governor Hochul last year, was that sent certified mail? If not, I think we should send it again certified.
I agree.
Was the Climate Institute in D.C., you know, contacted yet, which I recommended? Was the National Grid been contacted yet, like I recommended? Was the media contacted yet? Does Bruce Blakeman know about these underground infrastructure study and dangers of our water pipes? I'd like to know that, because it's going to affect water pipes over the bridge. If they have infrastructure, they'll be affected too. And, you know, it's just about, it could happen. We know it can happen. You have the Rapid Act. She can enact it at any time. Anytime she wants. That's why they made that thing. Okay? And basically, I'm scared. The people should be scared. Are there remedies? You know, I thought of a remedy. Whatever street it comes down, replace the iron pipe with PVC. That would remedy it. But that's a lot of money. And that's a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? Extra time. Say they came through here, right? We would recommend that. So if you change it to PVC pipe, which it can be done, it's not impossible, you don't have any problems. I just thought of that today. Okay, so basically, we need to get out there and let the world know of our problems. If it sneaks up on us, I don't want you, it's going to be on you guys. I mean, does anybody have a comment on this? You know, Mr. Reinhardt's running for office, and I do truly believe whatever he says, he has good remedies and stuff like that. I would like to ask Mr. Reinhardt, what do you think about this? Is it scary? I mean, how do you feel?
I think Ronnie, sorry.
Yeah, of course.
I agree with you. I'm always what really scares me is what happened in Nantucket last summer. I think, I don't want to speak for all of us, but I'm against the cables coming through Long Beach, of course, 100%. I'm also against battery storage units being in Long Beach or Island Park for that matter.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
But that scares me when a blade goes down that's the size of a football field and it shuts down the beach for a month. That's terrifying to me.
But what about our water pipes?
Well, that as well.
I mean, this is truly scary. I mean, we shut down. You don't have no water. You don't have any sewer. We're done. So what I'm trying to get at is get another letter out. Make sure they answer the letter. Make sure they know how we feel and what we know. And I think the media should really be contacted. You know, does Trump know what he's doing to us? Who knows? But we can contact Washington. We can do, listen, if I was up there, I'd be on the phone, forget about it. They'd be begging me to stop. So you guys, you know, I'm done here. Mr. Finn, if you want to answer me, you can. If anybody, it's up to you.
Thank you, Ronnie. Thanks.
Are we serious, though, about this?
We're obviously very serious about it. We have outside counsel that we rely on for advice in terms of the courts.
All right. Well, I'm going to be here every 2 weeks.
And as everyone probably knows by just reading the papers, this thing seems to be changing month by month.
That's scary. That's scary.
Well, in different directions.
Well, but again, we could be in trouble. But I'm going to be here every 2 weeks. I have to be on record for the people. So whatever answers, whatever you do is on you. I love all you guys, but it's going to be on you.
Yeah.
Okay? So
Understood.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Ronnie. I will say between Ronnie and Christina Kramer and other people from the island that keep us abreast, I think we all get the emails from them about the changing information that is coming down the pipe. No pun intended there. We are aware of what's going on. And at this point, I don't see the danger. At some point, we will have some danger. When I say danger, I mean the danger of them trying to implement that again. Jacob Spielberg.
Can I pass some documents? No?
Sure.
So, 533 East Market Street. School's tomorrow. And 6 months ago, prior to summer starting, I came and I dropped a list of 60 corners.
I remember.
And I got a thank you that evening. And as we headed into the summer, I noticed a couple of corners. Okay, we were cutting down some hedges, okay? Then it kind of seemed like everything grinded to a halt. And there's a couple of corners around town that I think really stand out that need to be addressed. And it's just as simple as cutting down plants, not asking someone to change, the height of their fence or anything like that. So I was concerned. I came in. I did speak with Phil at length about this and a couple of other things. And he insisted that everyone on that list was notified. But I guess that's where the effort sort of ended. So school's tomorrow. At the end of my block, there is this hedge, and you can see, in the picture here, someone sitting on a full-size adult bike would not be seen, approaching this corner. You have a picture of my daughter there a year ago, still not being able to be seen. You have East School right there. You have the church/temple right there. Okay? And I've submitted through the website multiple times the form citing this violation. And when I spoke with Phil, I specifically spoke about this particular corner. And I know it's hard to address 60 corners across the city, but we're talking about a very important one, and we station crossing guards there. You know, it's evident there's a lot of foot traffic there. And I just want to know why 6 months after giving a list where this corner was on the list, it still hasn't been addressed. In addition, within the last 6 months, if you turn the page and look at the next picture, okay, at the bottom, Southeast Long Beach Road and Beach Street, this was installed within the last 6 months, and I venture to say this summer. This isn't 2.5 feet in height to the corner. It's not 4 feet in height to the corner. We're looking at like a 5-foot fence to the corner. If you read the ordinance, well, let's look at this other image as well, National Boulevard in Penn. Okay, you can see they made them step down the fence from 6 feet to 4 feet. And then the homeowner said, well, that's fine, we'll just put hedges. But the ordinance states that hedges are a fence. So they basically said, that's fine, we'll just do whatever we want. This corner was on the list that I provided as well. So something's broken in the permitting process. People are applying for fences in corner lots, and they're being granted the permit, or the installer is just moving ahead. But, we talk about safety. We're teaching kids how to ride bikes. We're doing bike rodeos, encouraging kids to ride bikes. And on the other side of the coin, we're sort of letting this sort of get away from us, all these corners.
So when you submitted that list, I'll speak for myself right now, but I know that everybody on the council took a good long look at it and took it very seriously. And we had multiple discussions with Dan and Phil regarding this. And I understand your, shall we say, exasperation, perhaps, or just
frustration. I have 2 kids who are walking tomorrow, and they're going to walk behind this bush. And we all know no one's stopping at stop signs in this town. That's a whole other discussion to be had at a separate time. But we know how people drive around here, and we're allowing these corners.
Right, I understand. And I think, look, I'm not making excuses, but I'll say that one of the complexities of this issue is it's multiple agencies that have to deal with this.
When someone's sidewalk is cracked, you say you have a crack in your sidewalk, you have this many days to fix it, or you're going to get fined $250 every additional day. All you have to do is go to this address, which has a Roy Lester sign in the lawn, and tell them to cut it down to 2.5 feet. And if you look at the diagram on the last page here, and maybe the building, head of the building department needs to look at this diagram as well, this is how it needs to be applied. This is how the ordinance is applied. I can ask you,
Totally agree with you.
This is how you address these corners. This is how it's done, but it's not being done.
So all I can say is we have done some of them. We have to do a lot more.
Okay, school's tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe Slarawada? Oh, Joe. Okay.
All right. So he's right. School does start tomorrow. A few months ago, my wife got a $250 ticket from that company that everybody hired that takes pictures of the school buses. That they could pretty much take better pictures of anything on this planet than any other camera I've seen anywhere. So after she got her ticket, I was at a red light near Atlantic Beach, didn't move until the school bus driver told me to move my car. I was instructed by him to stop waiting and go. I was afraid to go because I know when those lights are on, that camera's going, and that camera's taking pictures. I'm asking if this rule or law of the school buses can be adjusted, if the cameras can be adjusted, so that when that stop sign is out and it is clear and visible, that's when the camera starts going. Because that camera takes pictures of everything I mean, it's taking 4 lanes plus any car that's parked in the center lanes, it's taking pictures of. When I got my ticket, I didn't know what to do because it said Atlantic Beach. So I called the county clerk. She said, throw it in the garbage. That's what everybody does. Then I didn't know where to go. I went to the town of Hempstead because the town of Hempstead at the top of the letter. And I went and met with a guy named, who is he? His name's Edward Leno. He's the deputy town attorney there. And I said, well, tell me about this. You know, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this ticket. I don't know who to contact. I don't know how to fight it. I don't know how to appeal. Maybe get the ticket dropped down. The school bus driver instructed me to go. He said, it's a bad law. It's poorly written. It's poorly executed. The state needs to revisit this. So I'm wondering if, I know it's a state thing. It's not applied everywhere in every county. I know we're doing it here. But I'm wondering if there's anything we can do, because right now it's a major distraction. Like he says, school starts tomorrow. You've got cars driving this way who are going east, who are paying attention to what's going on west. So my ask is that if there's anything the council can do to make sure that those cameras are only taking photos. I don't care if it's taking pictures of the planes flying through JFK. I don't care if it's doing that. Just when that stop sign is out. Because when I asked Edward Leno, how does this work? He said, when the lights are on, then that means the cameras are rolling. And I said, well, does that mean the yellow is the new red? Because if amber's the new red, then we need to readjust and let everybody know that you're supposed to stop for that.
And you mean on the yellow lights, when the bus is flashing your yellow lights?
If any lights are flashing, if anything prior to that stop sign going out, as soon as the lights are flashing, anything, like that camera is rolling. And, taking a side street, and directing everyone to take side streets is going to be even more dangerous for our kids. Because everyone's going to just redirect. As soon as they know the school buses are out, they're like, I'm getting off Park Avenue. And those kids don't have anywhere to go on those side streets. And it's more of a hazard than anything for them. And like I said, it's to be responsible for something that's happening 4 lanes away, plus with a parking lot.
Totally agree.
New York State law is when those red lights are flashing on the bus, that's when you can't pass the bus. So it's the stop sign in conjunction with those red lights on top of the bus. So
Prior to that stop sign being deployed, that camera's rolling. That's New York State law.
Once those red lights are flashing on top of the bus,
right,
that's when you can't pass it.
Right, but that's prior to that stop sign being out.
It's supposed
You
to happen.
can't answer the question.
It's
not
supposed to
right
happen
now,
at the same
How
time.
are we supposed to
It's
answer
supposed
that
to happen at the same time.
They don't.
But the law is when it's with the red lights are flashing, that's when you can't pass it.
Right, but when that stop sign is out, it means stop.
Correct.
If I stop for every flashing light anywhere, no one's getting anywhere. I know that's the law, but
the amber lights
Edward
ignite
Leno,
first,
deputy,
and then
was
the
at
red,
Hempstead
the
adjudicating
red lights.
this,
The red
who's
lights
saying-
are when you're legally required to stop.
Yeah, he says this is a flawed law that legally needs to be changed, that was written poorly.
Okay.
And we are the first city that I've been to that has actually put this thing into action. I've been everywhere. I don't see those school buses anywhere. I know it's a New York State law, but we're the first to adapt it. We're the guinea pigs here, paying $250 for it. And if you call Arlington, Virginia, that company who's been outsourced to do this, they have one thing in mind: pay, pay, pay. They don't tell you how to fight it. They don't tell you how to, they don't want to hear anything. All they want is their money. There's 4 ways on that piece of paper they send you to pay. There's one way to ask for a hearing. There's no way to get it reduced. There's no other law that works this way that we have when it comes to driving safety, any of our road records, and our driving instructions. Nothing.
Obviously, we have to deal with the legislature on this because they create the law.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're going to have to take care of.
Yeah. And I'm just saying it because I know we've adopted it, and it's fine. I'm all for school safety. When that stop sign's out, I'm the first one to hit the brakes, and I'm going to stop. But we all need to know that if you see any lights going anywhere on a school bus, that everyone everywhere needs to park.
That's right.
And not everybody knows that.
Yeah, it's the red lights. Once the red lights are,
We're all going to stop for any light because we're just uncomfortable with the situation, and it's $250. And there's no way to get it reduced, and there's no way to fight it. You just got to go in and hope to get your hearing, and then you got to sit there and, watch the videos.
Thank you.
All right?
Thanks. Felicia Pasculi. Okay. Mindy Dovberg. Yeah.
Good evening, gentlemen. I just want to clarify, the yellow lights flashing is okay? Because you just said red. Okay, because the yellow light, sometimes the stop sign doesn't go. It's the red lights that the stop sign comes out. Okay, just wanted to clarify. Okay. Oh, good evening, gentlemen. I just wanted to give some gratitude to the summer season. I'm so grateful to hear that moving those booths was a good thing, because I was one of the people that stood up here and was constantly discussing how it was not going to work and bottlenecking. But what I do want to share is that as it was bottlenecking every weekend, it reminded me of being at an amusement park, and it really didn't bother me. And the residents that got upset are unfortunately the residents that get upset about everything. So as somebody who has been going on the beach every single day, I really enjoyed the bottleneck. It just is what it is. So I just want to express the gratitude to the Long Beach Lifeguard Patrol, the water rescue teams, the CSEA, the beach maintenance, police, and fire department. You guys really made our beach, our 25 beaches, safer and enjoyable, and I'm very grateful for that. And I just have to share with you a story I saw this weekend regarding a Moby mat, because why not? I saw a family of 20 entering the beach with somebody in a wheelchair. And I overheard, and of course I didn't say anything, which was very hard for me to say, not say something. But I heard them say, oh my gosh, you can go all the way to the shore. I know that they have those mats. And I was like, wow, this isn't a beach that has them, for. And I didn't say anything, and they were so excited. And so I went to plunge, and I came back, and they were sitting at the very, very tip of where they could go. This beach had one, and she was crying. Her whole family was over there, and she couldn't get over there. And it's just something to think about for next summer. Right. I'm grateful that you guys did it for 9 beaches. You had one Moby mat on 9 beaches. That was amazing. But let's try and get more Moby mats for more beaches next summer. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Mindy. I appreciate it, and I agree with you. If we can get more, we will do more. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. We have no more contestants, so thank you, everybody, for coming out. Arrive home safely, and we appreciate your participation in our democracy. Have a great night.